Welcome to the deep dive. So, we're diving into something that, well, it governs pretty much every click you make online and often leads to that really weird feeling, right? That classic moment.
Yeah.
You're chatting with a friend, maybe mentioning you need a new laptop, thinking about a Lenovo, checking Flipkart maybe, conversation ends. 5 minutes later, you open, I don't know, Instagram, and bam, your feed is just full of ads for Asus, HP, maybe that exact laptop you just
Oh,
mentioned.
yeah, that feeling like someone's read your mind. It's unsettling, and everyone immediately jumps to the same conclusion. My phone's listening to me.
And let's just get this straight right away, based on everything we've looked at. That's really, really unlikely. I mean, your phone's OS restricted, and honestly, it's just not efficient for advertisers compared to what's actually happening.
Exactly. The mind-reading feeling is real, totally. But the mechanism, it's all computation, it's data. They don't need your voice because your online behavior, those little digital breadcrumbs you leave everywhere,
Right.
they scream, purchase intent, long before you say a word. The system's probably been tracking those signals for hours, maybe even days before that phone call ever happened.
Right. And that's what this deep dive is all about. We want to pull back the curtain on this invisible, super-fast system that decides what ads you see and when. We'll break down how this global advertising machine auctions off your attention in milliseconds, and we'll spotlight a big player, especially here in India, India Ltd, that's quietly driving a lot of this. Okay, so let's unpack it. Starting with that basic idea. If you're using something online for free, a website, an app, you're the product being sold.
That's the fundamental truth. People usually think of just two ends of the spectrum, right? The advertiser, the brand, like a bank or Lenovo, and the publisher.
The website or app you're actually using, like Times of India or Instagram.
Exactly. And the publisher holds the golden ticket, which is your attention. Their website space, their app screen time, that's the ad inventory. They make money selling that space.
But it's not as simple as publisher sells space, advertiser buys space. There's a whole complex layer of tech in between, isn't there? Managing this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a high-speed, decentralized trading floor happening behind the scenes. Lots of specialized players.
Okay, let's define them. Who are these specialists? Starting with how the inventory gets managed. How does the publisher sell their space effectively?
Okay, first, you have the supply-side platform, or SSP. Think of the SSP as the publisher's automated sales team. Their job is to gather all the ad space the publisher has, bundle it up smartly, and find the best possible buyer at the best price.
So they work for the publisher, trying to get the most money for that ad slot.
Precisely. Maximizing yield for the publisher. Selling the inventory to the right person at the right time for the right price.
Got it. So if the SSP is the seller's agent, the advertisers say, Lenovo needs their own smart agent on the buying side.
And that's the demand-side platform, the DSP. This is the tech the advertisers use. DSPs use massive amounts of data, run algorithms, to help advertisers figure out which ad spaces are worth bidding on to get the best results.
Results meaning clicks or views or actual sales.
All of the above. Clicks, reach, sometimes app installs, or actual purchases, conversions. The DSP is constantly calculating. If I put this ad on this site in front of this user profile, what's the probability of success?
Okay, highly specialized. So SSPs selling, DSPs buying. Where do they actually meet to do the deal?
That happens on the ad exchanges. These are the big central digital marketplaces, like a stock market, but for ad slots.
The stock market for ads. Wow.
Yeah, and it has to be centralized so the rules are fair, the tech works, and the auction happens incredibly fast. We're talking milliseconds.
Okay, speed is key. But how does the DSP know I'm the person they should bid high for? Where does that intelligence come from? That must be the next piece.
That's the data management platform, or DMP. You could kind of call them the brains of the operation. DMPs are the systems that collect, crunch, and organize data from all over the place.
All those digital breadcrumbs we talked about.
Exactly. They gather web browsing data, app usage data, sometimes location data, purchase history, all anonymized, and use it to build anonymous customer profiles or segments, like potential laptop buyer or interested in budget travel.
Ah, okay. So the DMP creates the profile, feeds it to the DSP.
Right.
The DSP uses it to bid on the ad exchange against inventory offered by the SSP. Is that roughly it?
You got it. The DMP is the intelligence layer connecting the supply and demand sides, making the whole targeted system work.
And you mentioned speed, this whole auction process.
It's called real-time bidding, or RTB, and it's astonishingly fast. The moment you land on a web page or open an app,
Yeah.
the SSP tells the ad exchange, hey, got an ad slot here, user profile looks like this. Instantly, DSP is representing maybe hundreds of advertisers, look at that profile, decide if it matches their target, and place a bid if it does.
And the highest bidder wins.
Highest bidder wins. Their ad gets fetched and displayed on your screen. The whole thing, from request to ad appearing. Maybe 100 to 200 milliseconds.
That's just nuts. Faster than I can process the idea. It really shows why they don't need microphones, right? They already know so much from your behavior.
Exactly. The data trail is already there.
Okay, but how do they consistently know it's me across different websites and apps? What are those digital breadcrumbs, technically?
Well, on the web, it's traditionally been things like cookies and tracking pixels. In the mobile app world, which is huge now, the main identifier is a resettable advertising ID.
Right, I've heard of those, like IDFA on iPhones or
Yeah.
GAI on Android phones.
That's them. And the key thing our sources stress is that this ID is pseudonymous. It's not your name, not your phone number. Think of it like a temporary license plate for your device's online activity. You can even reset it in your phone settings.
A temporary license plate. Okay, I like that analogy. And that's the ID that's sending signals back to the DMP of what I'm doing?
Pretty much. So let's go back to your laptop example. You search best laptops under 60,000. Then you click a few review sites, maybe linger on one comparing graphics cards.
Good.
Each of those actions sends signals tied to your advertising ID. The DMP sees this pattern and flags that ID. Potential laptop buyer spotted, seems interested in gaming performance, budget around $60K.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just that I'm looking for a laptop, but it's guessing my budget and my specific interests without ever seeing my bank account.
Absolutely, the budget part. It infers that from the price points you click on. If you keep looking at reviews and products around the 60,000 rupee mark, the DSPs learn, okay, don't bother showing this ID ads for the 1.5 lakh models. Keep it in the 50K to 70K range.
Makes sense. Maximize the chance of a relevant click.
Right. And the taste part, like you focusing on graphics cards, GPUs, the system refines the profile. Okay, this isn't just any laptop buyer. They're focused on gaming. So the ads you see next shift.
Instead of battery life, they show me ads talking about frame rates and cooling.
Exactly. The creative, the messaging, it all adapts based on those tiny behavioral signals almost instantly.
Okay, and this leads to something crucial for the advertisers, the feedback loop. If this whole system works, and I actually buy the laptop, they need to stop showing me laptop ads, right? Otherwise, it's wasted money.
That's a huge part of the efficiency puzzle. When you make the purchase, that's the conversion, that action gets reported back. Tied to your advertising ID, the system flags it. Conversion, successful for laptop campaign.
And
Then your ID gets suppressed for that type of campaign. The DSPs are told, don't show generic laptop ads to this ID for a while. If they fail to suppress you effectively, the advertiser wastes money, which is why the accuracy of the DMP and DSP is so critical for their business.
the sheer speed, the complexity, the constant learning. It's quite something. And this whole sophisticated setup brings us nicely to a company that's really leaned into this, especially in markets like India. Hoffel.
Right. Apple is interesting in the ad tech space. A lot of the industry works on older models like CPM cost per mil, basically paying per 1,000 times an ad is shown, or CPC cost per click.
Just paying if someone clicks the ad.
Yeah. But Apple's big differentiator, especially with their consumer platform, is the CPCU model, cost per converted user.
Ah, okay. So they don't get paid just for showing an ad or even for a click. They only get paid when the user actually does something valuable for the advertiser.
Precisely. And that conversion is usually a significant action: downloading an app and registering, completing a purchase on an e-commerce site, signing up for a service. It's tied directly to advertisers' revenue or core goals.
So Apple has real skin in the game. If their targeting doesn't lead to actual results, they don't make money.
Exactly. That CPCU model means their incentives are tightly aligned with their clients. They have to be good at finding users who will genuinely convert, which pushes them to build really strong data intelligence.
And to make that CPCU model work, to predict conversions accurately enough to bet their revenue on it,
Yeah.
they must need a huge amount of data, right?
Oh, massive scale. The numbers are pretty staggering. As of fiscal year 25, Apple's platform was processing data from over 360 core devices.
Wow, 3.6 billion.
Yeah. But again, it's crucial to stress this is non-sensitive data. They're analyzing patterns, what kinds of apps are used, browsing behavior, purchase timings, maybe location context, not grabbing passwords, or reading your emails, or looking at credit card numbers. It's aggregated, anonymized behavioral stuff.
Okay, and where does all this data come from? To feed those predictive models for CPCU, our sources mention three main types:
That's right. First, there's third-party data. This is the kind of data bought and sold on the open ad exchanges. It's the general pool of anonymized user data available across the ecosystem. Standard stuff.
Okay, data from the wider market. What's second?
Second, and much more valuable, is first-party data. This is data that comes directly from Apple's client or partner.
So if Apple is working with, say, Swiggy.
Right. Swiggy might share anonymized data about user behavior within the Swiggy app, what cuisine types people browse, order times, maybe payment methods used for orders. This data is super specific and helps Apple target lookalike users much more effectively for Swiggy's campaigns, maybe to drive more installs or orders.
Got it. So data the client already owns. And the third type sounds really interesting. Second-party data from OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, like phone makers.
Yes, and this is a really strategic piece, especially in mobile-heavy markets. Apple has partnerships with phone manufacturers, companies like Samsung or Xiaomi.
How does that work? What data do they get?
Well, these OEMs might allow Apple to have software components, like recommendation engines, either pre-installed on the phone or installed shortly after setup. These components can then collect anonymized signals about how the device itself is being used.
Like what apps I open most often, or when I unlock my phone.
Things like that. App usage frequency, device interaction patterns, maybe even interactions with the phone's core features. It gives Apple a very deep device-level understanding of user behavior that competitors relying only on web cookies or basic app signals might not have. It's a unique baseline.
Okay, putting it all together then. That creepy ad that shows up right after you mention wanting a laptop. It's not the mic. It's the result of, one, all this behavioral data being collected, maybe including unique stuff from the phone maker itself. Two, DMPs instantly analyzing that data to put you in a very specific box, like mid-budget gaming laptop seeker.
Right.
And three, that profile being auctioned off in milliseconds through real-time bidding, driven by models like CPCU, where companies like Apple only get paid if you actually convert.
That's the whole mechanism in a nutshell. We're living in this economy where your attention is literally bought and sold constantly, that slightly uneasy feeling you get. It's just the human reaction to realizing that every scroll, every click, every pause, it's all being watched, analyzed, and used to predict what you'll do next.
Yeah. It makes you think about privacy differently. It's not always about one big hack or leak. Sometimes maybe it fades away click by click. Every interaction feeds the machine that predicts your next move.
It does. So what's the takeaway here? I mean, while this constant tracking might feel a bit overwhelming, understanding how it works gives you some power back. Knowing about SSPs, DSPs, RTB, it helps you decode why you see the ads you see. It makes you a bit savvier online.
True. Knowledge is power, as they say.
And it leads to a final thought, maybe a bit provocative. If your behavior, your data is inevitably going to be analyzed and traded like this, and if companies are building profitable businesses based on predicting your actions with increasing accuracy, maybe, just maybe, investing in the underlying infrastructure the company's building, the prediction engines, the efficient marketplaces, the ones mastering models like CPCU, perhaps that's the smartest, most meta click you could possibly make. Something to think about.